call the meeting to order, starting off with good afternoon. Welcome everybody to our August 12th, 2024 regular meeting of Belleville City Council. The City of Belleville acknowledges we are meeting today on traditional territory. We recognize and honor the historic relationship of Indigenous peoples to this land and acknowledge our shared obligation to respect, honor, and sustain these lands and the natural resources contained within. We recognize First Nation, Métis, and Inuit who call Belleville their home and support the need for cultivating a strong relationship with them. We look forward to fostering a path towards reconciliation and show respect for Indigenous peoples who first lived and currently live on this land. I'll call the meeting to order. We are missing Councillor Carr, and with that, a moment of reflection, Deputy Clerk Katie McPherson.
May we be worthy custodians of all that has been entrusted to us. Help us to be concerned only with what will promote good government. May we bring to council chambers minds that think and hearts that feel, always having respect for others so that we may serve the people of our city in a helpful manner and for the good of all.
Please be seated. Calling on disclosure of pecuniary interest and general nature thereof. Seeing none, I need a motion for reading and confirmation of minutes of July 8th, 24, regular in camera meeting minutes of July 8th, 24, special meeting minutes of July 25th, 24, and special in camera meeting minutes of July 25th, 24. Councillor Chatton, Councillor Kelly, discussion, all in favor? Carried. No deputations tonight. Correspondence, we have a couple. A letter from the Downtown District, Belleville Downtown Improvement, waiver of a food truck bylaw for the Caribbean Festival, and I'll just need a motion for the resolution as written. Councillor Chatton, Councillor Wright Miller, discussion, all in favor? Carried. Second is a request for a municipally significant event, Melanie Himley, and I could get a motion for that as read. Councillor Brown and Councillor Ossopp. Questions? Discussion? All in favor? Carried. Okay. Councillor Enright Miller, you're in the chair tonight. Committee of the Whole, I need a motion to consider reports, passing recommendations, resolutions with yourself in the chair. Councillor Millette, Councillor Ossopp, all in favor? Carried.
Thank you, Your Worship. Good afternoon, everybody. We'll go to 8A, reports. The agenda shall include under reports items that warrant individual attention from council. 8A1, investing in Canada infrastructure program, public transit stream, hybrid bus purchase. Resolution reads that in accordance with section 20.d, cooperative purchasing / VOR arrangements of the city's purchasing bylaw number 2023-183, the quotation from New Flyer Industries Canada, known as NFI Group, be accepted for the supply of 3 hybrid transit buses in the amount of $3,587,964.84 plus $466,435.43 HST for a total of $4,054,427, and that the mayor and clerk be authorized to sign the acceptance on behalf of the corporation of the City of Belleville, and that the city clerk be authorized to affix the corporate seal, and that the 2023 capital budget item 1.033 be amended to include the purchase of a mobility bus for a total of 4 buses and 1 mobility bus. May I have a mover and seconder? Councillor Brown, Councillor Alsop. Any discussion? Seeing none, can I call the motion? All in favor? Carried. Thank you. 8A2, appointment of members of City Board / Committee, Belleville Public Library. The resolution reads that pursuant to the Director of Corporate Services / Kirk's report number DSC 2024-11, appointment of members to City Board Committee, Belleville Public Library Board be approved, and that a bylaw to amend bylaw 2022-09, the appointments bylaw, be prepared for council's consideration. Can I have a move? Councillor Chatton move, seconder. Councillor Alsop, any discussion? Seeing none, can I call the vote? All in favor, thank you. 8A3.
Moved as written.
Thank you. Motion, Councillor Chatton, seconder. Councillor Alsop. Any discussion? Councillor Millet.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and through you to, I guess, Mr. McDonald, our CAO. The final, we've discussed this matter on the new agricultural fairgrounds project, and it's scaled back significantly. Can you just explain for us, if you will, where we were at when we started this discussion in terms of dollar figure in the last council, as I recall, and how we got to this this stage right now, where we're now approving a 10.5 million plus 1.3 million to a grand total of 11.8 mil. And I noted just what brought about the process for the requiring of the scaled back project scope, if you could.
Through the chair to Councillor Millet. My recollection is that the original budget that was brought before council at budget a couple of years ago was in the neighborhood of $40 million. The footprint of the proposed building was significantly larger and included an indoor riding facility. That has been scaled back significantly through negotiation with the Belleville Agricultural Society. So today, what's before council for award and consideration at this point is a 36,000 and change square foot event space for the Ag Society's future use. So that's significantly, obviously, with the tender before you or the RFP for consideration is significantly less. There was also at one point some LEAD or green initiatives funding through the federal government that had increased the tender price or the cost of the potential facility. That funding was not successful by the city, and so there was some scaling back of the project for those items as well, which again has resulted in what's before council today.
Councillor Millet.
Yeah, if I just may, thank you. And the fact that we're awarding the tender to Belcon out of vendors, successful vendors, or vendors who actually put in their tender bids, Task Force and Strong Brothers being the recognizable local. Belcon has a good history with the city. I take it we've worked with Belcon on a number of major projects, including the building that we're in today, correct?
Through the chair to Councillor Millet, in my experience in the city, that would be my perception. Yeah.
And one other question, if I may, Madam Chair. The scope and the breadth of the project will include not just an event building. It will have outdoor grounds, and we're not going to have a racetrack as we had at the old fairgrounds. I think unfortunately the harness racing industry being what it is, the state of it unfortunately is that a horse racing track isn't in the plans. But there will be grounds for more than just the fall fair, is that correct?
Through the chair to Councillor Millet, that's correct. The Ag Society has already built a building on site with some federal money that they received. And the current lease agreement that is in place permits the Ag Society to build some additional buildings on property and use the balance of the property that is subject to the lease at that site for their use for things related to the fall fair and for other events they intend to use on that site.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor Millet and CAO McDonald. Any other further questions, Anne? No? I'll call the motion. Motion to approve? Carried, thank you. 8B, consent items. Council may adopt consent items by one motion, but prior to consideration of such motion, members may request that specific items be removed from consideration under such motion, and council shall consider such items individually. I'll just go around the table. Councillor Thompson?
8B8.
8B8?
8B8, sorry.
Your worship?
8B8.
Councillor
No
Russell?
additional, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Councillor Brown?
8B1?
8B1. Councillor Chatton?
No, thank you, Madam Chair.
Councillor Millet?
Already been pulled.
Thank you. Councillor Kelly?
No, thank you.
All right, can I have a motion to approve with the exception of 8B8 and 8B1? A motion, Councillor Chatton, Councillor Kelly, all in favor? Carried, thank you. We will go to 8B1 first, if that's okay. Can I have a motion for 8B1, since Councillor Brown, you pulled it? Seconder? Mayor Ellis? 8B, all in favor? After I read? Thank you, okay. 8B1, housekeeping amendment to the official plan of the City of Belleville, file number PLOPA 2024-0090. The resolution reads, number 1, that the Planning Advisory Committee recommends the following to City Council. That application PLOPA 2024-0090 to amend the official plan of the City of Belleville be approved as follows. That the official plan of the City of Belleville be amended as proposed through the city housekeeping amendment consisting of text and schedule amendments. And number 2, that a bylaw to amend the official plan for the City of Belleville be prepared for Council's consideration. Councillor Brown.
Thank you. I didn't, there's no issues with this one. I wanted to assure Director Ashton it's fine. I just wanted to extend my thanks to staff for their continued work on this official plan and making sure that we are in alignment with all of the legislative changes from the province, which tend to go forward and then come back and then come forward slightly differently. So I wanted to extend my thanks to the Engineering and Development Services team for staying on top of this and putting this forward. Also wanted to offer just an observation that when this came forward to planning last week, there was no one in the audience, there were no speaking for or against, and so it was approved unanimously. So I wanted to just thank the team.
Thank you very much, Councillor Brown. Any other comments, questions? Then I'll call for the vote. All in favor? Thank you. We will then move to 8B. 8, thank you. Overnight parking restrictions. Resolution reads that Council received Deputy Clerk's report number DCC 2024-03 overnight parking restrictions. Moved by Councillor Thompson, seconded by Councillor Millet. Councillor Thompson?
Yeah, thank you very much. I want to add to that motion, please, right at the outside. And restriction, we received this report and send it back to the Transportation Committee to bring back a report with policy, if any changes, to the next council meeting for approval by the council. So if I can get a second for that?
I seconded your motion, so I'll agree to the
Yep. Okay, thank
friendly
you.
amendment.
And I will speak to it. I know we've all had phone calls about the parking restrictions. This bylaw has been in effect for many, many years. And wasn't that many years ago, or a year or two ago, that we, instead of a complaint driven, we were going to treat it as a situation in the City of Belleville that we needed to take in control of. Because we had, situations where people were parking all over the place, parking in people's houses, and they weren't able to get out and so on and so forth. So we put it through the council and updated it to make it more that the parking authority would go out and enforce this bylaw. And again, I've had people call me, email me about their situation. I've talked to them like most of you have, but without getting into technical with any one particular person, I just think it's better to take it back to the Transportation Committee. Let us dig into and see if there's anything we can change in this, or if we want to change anything, and bring them back to the council for consideration, rather than trying to make each one a special thing, because we've all got it. So that's my statement. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Thompson. Councillor Millet?
Thank you, and I'm heartened to hear that from Councillor Thompson, and just learned of it at the start of the meeting, because at some point I was going to ask that actually happen. So thank you, Councillor Thompson, for taking the lead on that, and I know you're chair of the Transportation Committee, so I would hope they would have a good look at it. As everyone, as you mentioned, we've been inundated with quite a number of complaints about that, and I think it's important for people to note that the transition was from complaint-driven to now enforcement-driven. So our bylaw people are in fact patrolling, looking for, I don't want to say offenders because it makes it sound so criminal, but for, you know, violations of the bylaw. If we can be more flexible, I know there was an instance just recently where I had somebody reach out to me that they were having their driveway sealed, which happens a lot in this time of year. And as anybody who's had their driveway sealed, you know you can't park on it for a night or two. Well, when they left their car on the road, lo and behold, come out to find a ticket. Most people don't understand that if you, and we don't broadly promote it, that if you ask for special dispensation, if you will, or a permit, you're allowed to leave your car on the street, on curb streets, for in instances like that, where you're having work done to your driveway or for whatever reason you can't park in your driveway. We also have cases where, especially in the summer, we have family visiting, unfortunately, that you can only fit a couple of cars in the driveway. Well, you got Aunt Millie and Uncle Bob who've driven down from Pembroke, and they need to park on the street. They come out and their welcome card to Belleville is a parking ticket. So these are the kinds of things I think we have to look at, and I'm heartened to see that we're going to be going forward with a re-examination of how we do it. And again, it may not come up with any changes, but any gesture to look at it, I wholeheartedly support. So thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Matt. Councillor Kelly?
Yes, through you, Chair. I just want to touch kind of on what Councillor Millette was speaking to. Over the last, it seems, 6 weeks, 7 weeks, I've been dealing with a lot of folks that were a little disappointed that they got a parking ticket overnight in front of their home for the reasons that Councillor Millette touched on. I'm glad that this is going to be going back to the Transportation Committee under the capable hands of Chair Thompson and his team, and come up with some type of solution, because it is frustrating. These are folks that are paying taxes, and 99% of them are model citizens, the type of people you'd want in your neighborhood, being your neighbor, and then they get slapped with this. But hopefully we can come to some kind of resolution, and I'm quite confident in the leadership of Councillor Thompson. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Kelly. Mayor Ellis?
I would like to ask Director Coyle, he's on holidays, a question about technology. And this has been a concern. The complaints I get over this is probably my second complaint besides something else that just happened. I wondered if there'd be technology out there that we could actually give somebody a warning, because what I see is a lot of people don't know. They get their driveway done. I believe a pass for your driveway is around $9 or $8, something like that amount, and people don't understand or don't want to pay that money, and I don't blame them for a night. So I was wondering if there's a technology out there that we could implement that a person would have a warning once a year or something, so the people that don't know what happens, instead of getting the ticket right off, that the plate would be registered as a warning, and then next time they would get a ticket. And I would hope that or encourage the Transportation Committee to look at something like that. I think that in this case, because the education that it's tough to inform everybody, and they get informed when they get the ticket. And I think when you look at a lot of things, people sometimes have to leave their cars on the streets for other reasons, whether it's a party at their house, somebody can't drive home, and things like that. So I do encourage the committee to look at something like this, or have staff to look at it to see if there's a solution that would warn them, as opposed to being heavy-handed first time out. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Worship. Councillor Brown?
Thank you. Not losing sight of the actual report in front of us, I just wanted to point out that 15 new signs related to this bylaw have been now placed across the city. and 15 more are, have been ordered so that we can place them in other locations. So I think that the city, between the social media posts that occurred 2 weeks ago, along with all of the additional signage that's going in, is that the city is being responsible in terms of communicating to people. But it's like anything else that we've all experienced, whatever change it is that's being put out there. And in this circumstance, it's not a change in terms of how we're, the bylaw itself, but the change is actually how we're enforcing it, is that people don't like change. They didn't like transit. They didn't like automated speed enforcement. They didn't like the fact that we're now overnight parking and enforcing it. But it's like anything else, we are doing our very best to communicate it. And I didn't want to lose sight about today's report was actually about the good news, which is we will have upwards of 30 additional signs being placed throughout the city in both Ward 1 and Ward 2, making sure that in main entrances that people are aware there is a bylaw that exists today, and that anything we look at will go back to Transportation Committee. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Brown. Councillor Thompson?
Nobody else? I'll just finish it up. And I as a committee, chair of the committee, and Councillor Brown is also on the committee, and Councillor Kelly is on the committee, and and Councillor Carr also. We'll look at this. We're certainly looking at all avenues, but we got to be careful that we don't take 10 steps forward and 12 steps back. We wanted this to happen for a reason. Can we give warnings? That's quite possible. Can we get applications for one night or paving the driveway? And I've had other situations where people have called me and we need to look at, and I've talked to Deputy Clerk Katie about this, so we'll look at it all and report back hopefully at the next transportation meeting or the next council meeting. Thank you.
Thank you very much. If no other comments, we have a friendly amendment on the floor. All in favor? Carried. Thank you very much. On to 8C, council information matters. Council may adopt consent items by one motion, but prior to consideration of such motion, members may request that specific items be removed from consideration under such motion, and council shall consider such items individually. I'll just go around the table. Councillor Kelly?
No, thank you.
Councillor Millette?
No, thank you.
Councillor Chatton?
No, thank you, Madam Chair.
Councillor Brown?
No, thank you.
Councillor Alsop?
No, thank you, Madam Chair.
Mayor Ellis? No. Councillor Thompson?
No, thank you.
If no other, we just have a motion to approve the consent items. Councillor Chatton? Councillor Alsop? All in favor? Thank you. Can I have a motion to rise and report, please? Councillor Kelly? Councillor Millette? All in favor? Thank you.
Okay, reading of bylaws, first reading of bylaws, 2024, 143, 144, 145, 146, 147, 148, 149, 150, 151, 152, and 153, and 154. Moved by Councillor Chatton, seconded by Councillor Alsop. All in favor? Carried. Second reading of bylaws and discussion. Bylaw 2024, 144, 145, 146, 147, 148, 149, 150, 151, 152, 153, and 154. Moved by Councillor Thompson, seconded by Councillor Enright Miller. Discussion. I've just got some discussion on bylaw 2024-154 as a bylaw to approve authorization of a medical service agreement this 12th day. And I'll direct this to Manager Post, our physician recruiter. Could you tell us more about how many numbers we are at and how obviously you're doing well, but any of the start time and things on this doctor and how we're making out, and how many hooks have you got in the water?
Thank you, Mayor Ellis. So Dr. Balabhadra is the 52nd physician that we've been able to recruit through the life of the program. It is our 9th physician this year. We've also attracted 6 nurse practitioners, so the program is going well for 2024. We're really happy with the progress. Dr. Balabhadra is coming into town. He should be here in October of this year. He is a seasoned physician who will be coming in to take over the practice of Dr. Miriam Eisen. So he will be preventing 1,500 patients from being orphaned. So we're very pleased to have Dr. Balabhadra join us. He's going to be here quickly. And as I say, he's a well-experienced physician, and we're very happy to have him.
Thank you. Just one quick question through you, Your Worship, to Ms. Post. Where is Dr. Balabhadra currently practicing?
Through the Mayor to Councillor Millette. Dr. Balabhadra is currently in London, England, and he has received his CPSO approval to practice medicine here, and he is just waiting for his permanent residency to practice here. And I did forget one element of Mayor Ellis's question, and that's around how many physicians do we have sort of in the hopper that we are working with. And it's safe to say we have 8 serious inquiries currently that we are managing of physicians that have expressed considerable interest in practicing here.
Thank you, Ms. Post. Councillor Chatton.
Thank you, and through you, Your Worship, I just wanted to say thank you for your tireless efforts in this collection of physicians and nurse practitioners that that we're attracting to the city. I think your work has been exceptional, and I just want to commend you for, again, your tireless efforts. Thank you.
Definitely going to get Physician Recruiter of the Year this year. Councillor Thompson.
And not only Director Karen needs to be commended, but our worship started this program a number of years ago, and at that point we were in dire need of doctors, and without him not starting it, we may not be in position there. So thank you, Your Worship. Hopefully I get in your good side.
Thanks. You're not right now, you know that, Councillor Thompson, but, again, I'll call you Director Post, just to, anyways, Manager Post, great job, and it was a position that council put you in, and it's paid spades, and we do really appreciate not only your support in the program, but our support back to you is twofold, so thank you. Next is new business. Anybody have any around the table? I have one item, and I just wanted to ask Director, who's going to take this? Just been reading a lot on Facebook of minimum tickets, and there was a ticket on the speed cameras for 1 kilometer over. And I don't want to ask you what it is, but I just see a lot of false information out there, and I guess just to ask you that question, because that's the big question I'm getting, 1 kilometer over, that people are going to be fined, and I just want to know if there is some leeway, and that's the only question I'll ask you.
Yeah, through the chair to all council. That ticket in particular is fake news, hashtag fake news. You know, it was fabricated, to be quite honest with you. It's, I think, 41 or 42 and a 40. I can assure you, while that is technically speeding, there has been no tickets issued for that low of a speed.
Okay, thank you. $100, tell us what the speed is? No, sorry. Any new business and notice of motion announcements? Announcements. Oh, surprise, Councillor Kelly.
Through you, Mayor, thank you. I appreciate you giving me some time tonight to say a few things. I'd like transparency too on council here. What councillor will be the first to get nailed with a ticket? Be responsible and put your hand up, Tyler. Thank you. Kidding. First of all, just wanted to say this past weekend I was at the 37th annual powwow in Tandanega, thanks to Chief Ardon Miracle. It was a beautiful celebration, seeing the dancing, singing, all the different arts and culture that was expressed this past weekend, so that was beautiful. This weekend in Belleville, it's the third Belleville Caribbean Festival. I want to thank the committee and everyone that's involved in the city of Belleville and around the area from tourism sectors that have really reached out and supported the committee this year. Meeting started in January and we had one this morning, and this is a major economic driver for the city of Belleville. Last year in the peak of the festival on that Saturday afternoon, Bay of Quinte Regional Marketing Board estimate 12,000 people were downtown, and we know that this is something to build on. The momentum and our partnership with the Toronto Caribbean Carnival has been a wonderful learning experience. They've been very supportive. I'll just leave it at this. It's this weekend, kicks off Friday at Westwicks Park, and on Saturday downtown and Sunday morning here at Market Square. There's going to be a Caribbean brunch, and Dr. Akron, who lives in Belleville, who is a African drumming professor from the University of York University in Toronto, will be putting on an educational piece and kind of the history and the indigenous connection to our Caribbean festival. And finally, we talk about this being an economic driver, and we saw in our reports that we got in our package this week talking about tourism. So this week, I got a message yesterday on Sunday from a group of people from Ajax, Pickering, and Toronto. They booked 8 hotel rooms in Belleville for this weekend. Today I took a call from this lady in Montreal. She was at the recent Toronto Carnival, and she volunteered her services. She's from Trinidad, lives in Montreal. 10 dancers, it's called Mass Parading, will be here in full costume on Saturday. It's very exciting. And 10 are coming to volunteer their time and take us to the next level. And they also booked today 6 hotel rooms in Belleville. So we're hearing good stuff from hotel owners that it's tough to get a room. So to me, I feel we are very blessed to have a strong Caribbean community. They're showcasing their talents. They love Belleville. What a way to work back with them, and it's their weekend. So I hope everybody comes out to it Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, and to get the support from the city of Belleville and all the staff has been very encouraging as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Kelly. Anybody else? Councillor Brown.
Thank you, Your Worship. Just to mention, this Friday, August the 16th at 10 o'clock in the morning in Market Square, there will be a public transit infrastructure funding announcement. Well, we've probably already spent the money and then some, particularly with some of the things that we approved today. I think it's important that we a show of force to, so I invite you all to join us on Market Square at 10 o'clock on Friday morning, just to show our appreciation for that funding and to make sure that we see more of it again in the future. So thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Brown. Anybody else? I just have a quick announcement. It's an honor for me. On Wednesday, I'm going to attend somebody's graduation in Kingston. Congratulations, Councillor Chatton. You've gone back to school and you've been successful as long as we can get till Wednesday. And on behalf of council, we'd like to congratulate you on a job well done, and we all knew you could do it. So congratulations, Lisa Ann. Okay, so I need a confirmatory bylaw, that bylaw number 2024-155, a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of council at its meeting held on August 12, 24, be read a first, second, and third time, and finally passed this 12th day of August 24. Moved by Councillor Chatton, Councillor Enright Miller. All in favor? Carried. And one more I have is congratulations, Matt McDonald. CAO. So your first meeting's gone well. We didn't kick anybody out of council, and everything's gone well. So congratulations, Matt. Day one, successful, and may we have a lot more successful days. Motion to adjourn, Councillor Kelly, Councillor Alsop, all in favor, carried.